Sophie Bennett was a 23-year-old woman with dreams far too big for the small world she lived in. She worked long shifts at Maggie's Diner, a faded little restaurant tucked away in the heart of New York City. The peeling paint on the walls, the flickering neon open sign, and the constant aroma of old grease mirrored her daily struggles. And yet Sophie always smiled, not because life was easy, but because she believed that even in the darkest places you could still be a light. She had a rare gift, not just for serving tables but for making people feel seen. She remembered every customer's name, asked about their lives, and truly listened. After each shift, while the rest of the city turned in for the night, Sophie collected leftover food from the diner and walked through the cold streets, offering warm meals to the homeless. To her, it was simply the right thing to do. But to those who received it, it was a lifeline. One especially bitter night, rain lashed the streets like icy needles. On her usual route, Sophie spotted a small figure curled up under a bus stop. A young boy no more than 8 years old, shivering and soaked through. Without hesitation, she knelt beside him. "Hey there," she said gently. "Are you okay? Where are your parents?" The boy looked up, eyes wide and scared. "I don't have anyone," he whispered. "I'm hungry." Sophie didn't think twice. She took his hand and brought him back to the diner, soaked to the bone, but determined. Inside, she wrapped him in a blanket and served him hot soup. The boy smiled, a smile so pure it made the world pause. And in that small moment, something shifted in Sophie's heart. What she didn't know was that someone had been watching. Across the street, a luxury black car sat idling, hidden in shadow. Inside was Lucas Carter, a billionaire known for his ruthless business mind and distant persona. After a long, chaotic day, he'd driven into the quieter parts of the city, searching for silence. What he found was Sophie. At first, he was simply curious. Why was a young woman kneeling in the rain for a homeless boy? But as he watched her lead the child into the diner and care for him, he couldn't look away. Her compassion was disarming, powerful. It hit something deep inside him. "Who is she?" Lucas murmured to himself, scribbling down the name of the diner before pulling away. But he couldn't forget her. In the days that followed, Sophie's life carried on, exhausting shifts, caring for her younger brother, stretching every dollar. She hadn't seen the boy again, but his smile lingered in her mind, giving her strength. Meanwhile, Lucas couldn't stop thinking about the girl from the rain. He had everything money could buy, yet nothing had ever moved him like that one moment of kindness. He needed to know more. One evening, wearing a suit that looked far too polished for a place like Maggie's, he walked in. The bell above the door jingled, and Sophie looked up from balancing a tray. Her hair was frizzy from the humidity, her smile bright despite the fatigue. "Welcome to Maggie's," she said. "Sit anywhere you'd like." Lucas chose a corner booth and watched. She was just as kind and gentle as he remembered. She helped an elderly man count change, offered a free refill to a struggling mother, checked on regulars like they were family. When his meal was done, he handed her the bill with little fanfare, but before he left, he slipped an envelope beneath his plate. Later, when Sophie found it, her hands trembled. Inside was a stack of crisp bills, far more than any normal tip, and a short note: "Keep being who you are. The world needs more Sophies." She rushed outside, but the sleek black car was already gone. The next day he returned. He requested her specifically. She approached him cautiously, confused but polite. After a few kind exchanges, he asked something strange. "Do you remember helping a homeless boy last week?" Surprised, she nodded. "Yes. How do you know about that?" Lucas leaned in, his tone warm. "Let's just say I saw something that night, someone extraordinary." He handed her a folded piece of paper. "Open this, after I leave." When she did, she nearly dropped it. A check for $50,000, with a handwritten note. "Your kindness inspired me. Use this to build the future you deserve. A grateful stranger." For days she tried to find him, to return the money, but there was no contact info. And deep down, part of her didn't want to give it back. Not because of the money, but because it meant someone had truly seen her. She used it to pay off her debts, to begin saving for her dream. A cozy cafe, where anyone, especially the forgotten, could find a warm meal and an open heart. Weeks later, as she walked home, The sleek black car pulled up again. This time, he stepped out. "I hoped I'd find you," he said, smiling. Sophie stared at him, heart racing. "Why did you give me that money? Who are you?" He reached into his coat and handed her another envelope. "My name is Lucas Carter," he said, "CEO of Carter Industries." Sophie's jaw dropped. He was one of the wealthiest men in the country. "I didn't tell you earlier because I wanted to see how you'd respond. I've spent my life building empires, but I've never met someone as rich in spirit as you." He smiled, handing her the final gift. "This is the deed to a cafe downtown. It's yours now. Consider it an investment in a better world." Tears streamed down Sophie's face. She tried to protest, but Lucas raised a hand. "Just promise me one thing. Keep being the person who inspired me." From that moment on, Sophie's world transformed. Her cafe, the Haven, became a sanctuary, a place where the wealthy and the weary sat side by side, where food was served with dignity, where no one was invisible. And Lucas, he kept visiting, first as a supporter, then a friend, and maybe something more. Sophie Bennett had once been just a waitress in a forgotten diner, but her kindness in the rain lit a fire in someone powerful. And that spark, her spark, ignited a chain of change that would ripple far beyond anything she could have imagined. Because sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can alter the course of fate itself.